Well, is it important to you for your kids to think, you know, Mom did a good job picking these roles?
I'm sure there are going to be some films that I'm mortified that they're seeing, and then there are going to be some films that I think the funniest thing for our children will be to see Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because it's so odd to be able to actually see your parents when your parents met and watch your parents bicker as a married couple and try to kill each other. Like it's such an odd thing to actually have, that they have that in there, that they're going to be able to sit and watch that together. Is really strange.
Well, maybe show that to them at a later.
Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're going to plan to. We're just going to let them find it one day.
Are your boys still gaming?
My Mad loves a video game. He's very into the war games, so we have to always try to find the ones that are not, you know, teen and mature. You have to try to find, because he loves the Madden, the football. It's a big one, which I can't play. We've all tried. Brad and I try to play it, and we lose immediately. I keep getting like called out. I lose. It's not, what is it? It's not a foul in football. It's something else. But I get it, like to a point where he's like, oh, "Mom, just go, you know, just go."
Well, you know, it's funny because I try to play with my husband too, and I'm driving the tanks like into the water, and they get really mad. They're like,
yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, because well, there's some fighting war games where you go like as a team. You know, it breaks into 4 screens, and so you go as a team. So I'm like, all right, I'm with my kids. I got to back my boys. And then it's just like, oh, Mom, just, you know, they have to keep coming to give me medical aid. it's very embarrassing.
So our job then is just to go make cookies for all the boys.
Yeah, I do. I'll go somewhere else. One day they'll think I'm cool. They'll see Wanted, and they'll think I'm cool.
Well, we sometimes do word associations. I thought that may be a good way to end this. So, first word that comes to your mind, James.
Well, I was going to say McAvoy. Does that count? My brother's name is James. That's about as far as
Car.
I'm not having good. I was going to say right now we are looking for a car to fit all our children, and we're having a lot of trouble. So problems was the first thing that came to my mind. Car problems.
Bus.
Because I think we're going to have to go bus, yes.
Destiny.
Fate.
Fox.
Hound.
I just thought it was your character's name.
No, but that's not what came to my head.
Well, and George Clooney's favorite, he loved this one, peanut butter.
Did he say jelly? Does everybody say jelly?
He did, but he got really excited about it, like he won a big prize. He's like, jelly!
Come on, baby, I'm on it now. You can't stop me. I'm faster than you thought, aren't I?
Peanut butter.
Jelly!
Odd.
I know. He got very excited about it.
But you start to immediately go off into like, should I be thinking something deeper than that? Is this a test? But no, jelly.
All right. And I laughed out loud about where your character's listening to Pina Colada.
I actually picked that song.
You did?
For that, yeah.
Was that one of your favorites?
And we put it on the trailer and bringing all the stunt guys in and be like, right? Isn't this cool? And then all the guys going, no, it's not. No, it is. Listen, it's really cool.
It was really cool, totally unexpected.
But to me, the idea of just killing a bunch of people and flipping a car over and then just like rocking out to Pina Colada just seems like a good, balanced woman.
To be able to enjoy the kids. They play with them, they change their diapers, they call them their babies, and they dress them up, and you know.
Who are you? Where are you?
I think I'm a woman, so I have, you know, I'm a mom when I'm with my son, and I'm everything in every different environment. I mean, I've always been a bit wild, but I've never intentionally hurt anybody. So I've always been, I think, good-hearted, but wild and free, and I don't take too much.
Do you look back on when you were younger and think like, what was I doing?
I just know it's going to come back at me very soon with my children. I know they're going to say, what were you doing?
Right. Yeah, how do you explain it, like when your kids are teenagers and you try to discipline them and they're like, you used to wear blood around your neck.
You just say, yes, I did. I think most people, I mean, that's why they call it teenage angst and all that. I mean, most people growing up have some kind of questions about who they are and what their purpose is. And I think certainly that doesn't help when sometimes you've become successful, and you've become successful for not really accomplishing amazing, important things, but for maybe doing something that becomes popular. And so you can feel a bit empty or confused why you're getting so much attention for something that was just a piece of art or something that you did, and so I think that can be a very strange time to not know what to do with this newfound success or wealth and not have a purpose for it. So I think it takes that to balance. I mean, if you care about something and it's important to you and you think it's worth doing, whether you do it perfectly or not shouldn't matter. I think it just should matter most what you're attempting and where.
I think what's risky is living your life and never trying for anything and never doing something brave and never getting yourself scared. I went through heavy, darker times and I survived them. I didn't die young, so I'm very lucky. There are other artists and people that didn't survive certain things.
There is no disgrace in being a survivor of sexual violence, that the shame is on the aggressor. There is nothing inevitable about it. It is a weapon of war aimed at civilians. It has nothing to do with sex, everything to do with power. It is done to torture and humiliate innocent people, and often very young children.
So there's a part of this film that is, in a fun way for children, saying, be yourself. Because when you try to be anything different, when you try to cover your horns, when you try to be something different than you are, when you try to go against your true nature, it's going to suffocate you inside, and it's not what you're born to be. So whether the world can handle it or not, it's not your problem. Be yourself.
She was a great listener and a great friend. She was my best friend. And so I could talk to her about everything. And she, I guess she made me feel like I had a voice, and that no matter what would happen, I knew she'd love me.
We all have something inside of us and that maybe we feel is misunderstood, or if we let it out completely and we were completely who we are, it might not be accepted. But then I think, you know, what are we doing on this earth if not to figure out what that is that makes us uniquely us and be it, and then find those who accept us for it.
I hope is there's that fire in all of us, and so often when you're young or at different times in your life, you think that there's something wrong with that. It's a bad thing because it's misdirected, and you don't know if you're a good person, and you don't know what you're contributing. You feel like, and that it is that fight and that fire and that little bit of trouble that if directed in the right way, it can be a force for good and brave and wonderful. And I think that's and I say that to my kids if they get in trouble because they've done something and they feel like they did something wrong and bad, that there is a right and a wrong, but it's also not to feel like they're bad. And it's fire, like Louis has fire. And
all of us here are different people, but we have something quite radical in common. We have the freedom to be artists, the freedom to create, to challenge authority fearlessly, to laugh at power and make others laugh with us, the right to speak truth as we see it.
the reality is, for many years I thought how nice so many people are helping with all these things. You know, the good people are doing a lot of nice things for people, for these desperate families. And then it was brought to my attention that there is this document, the Declaration of Human Rights. And what it says is that these are not things that nice charities do for poor people, but that these are the law. It's the law. Children should have an education. People should have the right to seek asylum. If they are in danger, they should have a right to protect their families. This is the law of the land. With all of the things that happen in the news, we often get so focused on there's so many big things that are happening, but as they happen, there's so many things that continue on, like Congo, like Uganda, and all the child soldiers. There's so many things we must keep remembering, keep fresh in our minds, because they are certainly not solved.
You have to make all the mistakes. You have to go through everything. You have to just, because everything somehow leads to something else, and it's you. So I would just like hang on. That's what I would say to my younger self. Just hang on.
Strap yourself
hang
in.
on.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
You're gonna love being a mom.
Okay.
Aww.
You know.
Damn it, you got me crying.
I don't mean to make you cry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. No, it's, you know, it's a part of life. So I'm at a strange, I suppose, place in my life. I think that happens when you lose a parent, where you
you drop into a different kind of serious.
There's so much hate these days. There's so much discomfort with people from other countries that we don't know and people that are foreign to us. And I think to remind everybody to be open to why people flee, why people cross the border. It's not just for economic reasons. Some people are really running for their lives and have been through horrific things and are really willing to work hard in a new country and try to just be good citizens and have a good life. And so this film certainly helps to give that message.
We went to Santorini, Greece. We went to Kenya and Tanzania, Africa. And we went to Hong Kong and in England, London, England, of course. And I think Africa was the most, I love Africa, and I loved being on top of a live volcano, which was really exciting. I loved being upside down against slate rock, being dropped head first. And nothing was too scary. Being underwater without oxygen and having to trust people with your air was a bit scary.
Take too much for granted, and I don't ever say, well, this is it and this is how it's going to be the rest of my life. It's like looking around this trailer and this great set and being on a film. It's great, but tomorrow I could be home doing nothing, looking for a job and completely redoing myself as a person, trying to figure out who I am all over again. Falling in love is like a war. It's easy to start, but really hard to finish. Just go like that.
And who do you do this to?
In the chair.
Really? Okay, all right.
If they've written about my relationship with women, they've summed it up and made it not the beautiful thing it was. They haven't expressed what I'm trying to express. Right. They'll take it and they'll criticize it, or they'll do something. They'll make something nasty out of something that's so beautiful. I have two very pointy black tribal designs. I have a quote. It's in Latin, and it means, "What nourishes me also destroys me."
Do you know the Latin for that?
Quod me nutrit me destruit.
I think from horseback. I pumped the shotgun, and the shell came into my eye. A duality of the self that I think we all have, and that side of us that maybe we don't know what we're capable of, or maybe we have things we're ashamed of, or sides of ourselves that we don't want people to know about. And we maybe would like to think that we could be pure, or that we're good people, or that we're... so we wonder if we can ever be loved for everything that we are. You have to find a way to be consistent in your life every day and be aware of making a difference every day, being aware of raising your children the right way every day, and all of those things. I mean, I was questioning whether all those, that part of me that, you know, with my tattoos and my wild side and my darker side, whether that same person could also be one day a wife and a mother and a good friend and innocent and sweet and funny, you know, and could I ever be that, and was I really anything close to that? And I feel just better about myself as a person, that I have some use in my life, that I could die tomorrow knowing that I've done something that's of value to other people. Yeah, her body's a little different this time. Her body's more my body, and I felt that she looked more like a woman and less like a video vixen this time. So I was much more comfortable as her. Gosh, I really don't know. I really like being Laura, so I maybe like the bad Laura. I heard that I think there's one version of the game where she has an alter ego. That's the dangerous, darker side of herself, so maybe the bad Laura. I'm not exactly the same way, certainly because Cambodia, I ended up adopting my son, and I live there now. So, but every country is special, and certainly Africa had a big effect on me, and I go back to Africa often. So Africa. Yes, I have to. I'm not good at watching them though. I spend most of my time hiding behind my popcorn.
I did, in England. I practiced a bit in LA, but most of it was in England with a really strict teacher. Absolutely. And not just my performance, but we wanted the story to be stronger and the film to be better and the stunts to be better, and we wanted everything to be better, and they are. When I fight, I feel like Laura. When she says something wicked and witty, I think it's very Laura. And her sense of humor, I think, is pretty clear in this one.